Admiral Kate Morrison stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Station Defiance. She looked out at the stars through the big window. The space around Earth was quiet, too quiet. She knew this peace would not last much longer. The communication board started beeping. A red light flashed on and off. Commander Jake Sullivan walked over to the panel. His face looked worried. "Admiral, we have an incoming message," Jake said. "It's from outside our solar system." Kate nodded. She had been waiting for this moment. For months, their deep space sensors had picked up strange signals. Ships were moving toward Earth. Many ships. More ships than anyone had ever seen before. "Put it on the main screen," Tate ordered. The screen flickered to life. A tall alien appeared on the display. Its skin was gray and smooth. Its eyes were black and cold. When it spoke, its voice was deep and threatening. "I am High Arbiter Zeeth Kar of the Galactic Hegemony," the alien said. "You are the species called humans. You live on the planet you call Earth." Kate felt her heart beat faster. This was really happening. After all these years of preparing, the moment had finally come. "We have watched your species for some time," Thethkar continued. "You have spread beyond your home world. You have built ships and stations. You think you are ready to join the galaxy." Jake looked at Kate. Both of them knew this was not going to be a friendly conversation. "You are wrong," the alien said. "The galaxy belongs to the hegemony. We have ruled space for thousands of years. 12 species serve under our command. We decide who lives and who dies." Dr. Lisa Barnes entered the bridge. She was the head of alien biology research. She had studied every piece of information they had about other species. Her face was pale. "Lisa, you need to hear this," Kate said quietly. On the screen, Thethkar raised one long arm. "The hegemony has decided your fate. You will surrender to. Use completely. You will give us your planet. You will serve us as slaves. Your ships will become our ships. Your people will work in our mines and factories." Jake stepped forward. "And if we refuse?" The alien's mouth opened in what might have been a smile. It was not a pleasant sight. "Then we will destroy every human in the galaxy. We will turn your planet into dust. We will make sure no one remembers your species ever existed." Kate felt anger rise in her chest. These aliens thought they could just take Earth. They thought humans were weak. They were about to learn how wrong they were. "You have 72 hours to decide," Thethkar said. "Send your answer to these coordinates. Choose wisely. This is your only chance." The screen went dark. The bridge was silent for a long moment. Then Jake spoke. "Admiral, should I contact the President?" Kate nodded. "Get me President Carter and General Phillips and anyone else in the War Council. We need to meet right away." Lisa stepped closer to Kate. "Admiral, I've been studying their language patterns. They really believe we're primitive. They think we just discovered space travel." "Good," Kate said. "Let them think that." Jake looked confused. "Admiral?" Kate turned to face both of them. For the first time since the message ended, she smiled. It was a small smile, but it was full of confidence. "Jake, how long have we been preparing for this day?" "Since first contact, Admiral. About 50 years. "And what did we learn from that first contact?" Jake thought for a moment. "That the galaxy is not a friendly place. That most alien species are either conquerors or slaves. That if we wanted to survive, we would have to be ready to fight." "That's right," Kate said. "Lisa, what do our files say about the hegemony?" Lisa pulled up information on her tablet. "They've conquered 47 different species. They've destroyed 6 others completely. They've never lost a war. They've never even had a difficult fight." Kate's smile grew wider. "Jake, send a message to all Earth defense stations. Tell them to begin Phase 1 preparations. and send a priority message to the president. Tell him the day we've been waiting for has finally arrived. Jake started working at his console. What should I tell the president about our response to the ultimatum? Kate looked back out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the largest fleet in galactic history was heading toward Earth. The aliens thought they were coming to conquer a weak species. They thought this would be easy. Tell him we're going to decline their offer, Kate said. And tell him to make sure he's smiling when he does it. Lisa looked worried. Admiral, their fleet is massive. Our sensors show at least 50,000. Ships, maybe more. Kate nodded. I know. It's exactly what we hoped for. What do you mean? Kate turned away from the window. Lisa, what's the first rule of war? Know your enemy? That's the second rule. The first rule is this: never let your enemy know what you're really capable of. Jake finished sending his messages. Admiral, all stations report ready for phase 1. The president will address the nation in 2 hours. Kate sat down in her command chair. The next 72 hours would change everything. The aliens thought they were coming to destroy humanity. Instead, they were about to discover that humans had been preparing for this moment for decades. Admiral, Lisa said, can I ask you something? Of course. Why are you smiling? Kate looked at her 2 officers. These were good people. Smart people. They had worked hard to prepare for this day. But they still didn't know the full extent of what humanity had built in secret. Because, Lisa, Kate said, they have no idea what's coming. The bridge fell quiet again. Outside, the stars continued to shine. But deep in space, sensors were picking up the approaching fleet. Thousands of alien ships, all heading toward Earth. Kate Morrison sat in her chair and smiled. The aliens wanted to play a game. They wanted to see who was stronger. They were about to find out that humans had been playing this game much longer than anyone realized. The war for Earth was about to begin. But it would not be the war the aliens expected. The galactic hegemony's fleet moved through space like a dark cloud. 50,000 warships traveled together toward the small solar system that contained Earth. Each ship was huge and powerful. Each one could destroy a planet by itself. High, Arbiter Zethkar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion. He looked at the tactical display, showing his massive fleet. Around him, commanders from 11 other species worked at their stations. War Prime Keth Volume, Zethkar called out. Report on fleet status. A large alien with red skin and 4 arms turned toward him. The Keth Mori were the best warriors in the galaxy. Their species had never lost a battle. All ships are ready for combat. High Arbiter, Keth Volume said. Our weapons are charged. Our shields are strong. The human planet will fall within hours of our arrival. Zethkar nodded. He looked at another alien, this one with blue skin and large eyes. Mind Singer Nethyara, what do your psychic scans tell us about the humans? The Nethprini were telepaths. They could read thoughts from great distances. Nethyara closed her eyes and concentrated. The humans are afraid, High Arbiter, she said. But there is something else, something I cannot understand. They seem prepared. Zethkar laughed. Prepared? They have a few hundred ships. We have 50,000. They have simple weapons. We have planet killers. How can they be prepared? On Earth, Lieutenant Colonel Ben Hayes stood in the command center beneath Denver. The room was filled with officers and scientists. Everyone worked quickly and quietly. Large screens showed the approaching alien fleet. Colonel Hayes, said Captain Amy Foster, all civilian evacuation ships are ready. We can move 10 million people to the Mars colonies within 48 hours. Ben nodded. Good. Make sure the children go first. And Amy, remember to smile when you give the evacuation orders. Amy looked confused. Sir, The aliens are watching us. They expect us to panic. Let's not give them what they expect. President Alex Carter walked into the command center. He looked calm and confident. General Ryan Phillips walked beside him. Mr. President, Ben said, the alien fleet will reach our outer defense zone in 18 hours. The president nodded. Any word from Dr. Barnes? She's in the lab with Dr. Miller. They say they need 6 more hours to finish the final preparations. General Phillips looked at the tactical display. Ben, are you sure about this plan? We're gambling with the entire human race. President Carter smiled. Ryan, we've been preparing for this moment for 50 years. Every calculation has been checked. Every system has been tested. The plan will work. Far above Earth, Lieutenant Sarah Morrison flew her scout ship toward the alien fleet. Her mission was supposed to be reconnaissance. She was supposed to scan the enemy ships and report back, but Sarah had a secret mission. In her ship's cargo, hold were thousands of tiny devices. Each one was smaller than a grain of sand. They were invisible to most sensors. Control, this is Scout 7, Sarah said into her radio. I'm approaching the alien fleet. Scout 7, this is Control, came the reply. Remember, you're just taking pictures. Don't get too close. Sarah smiled. Don't worry, Control. I know what I'm doing. She flew her ship between the large alien vessels. The aliens didn't seem worried about one small human ship. They probably thought she was just scared and trying to see how big their fleet was. As Sarah flew past each alien ship, she pressed a button. The tiny devices shot out from her ship and stuck to the alien hulls. The alien sensors couldn't detect them. They were too small and too advanced. This is interesting, Sarah said to herself. They're not even trying to stop me. Back on the Eternal Dominion, Zethkar watched the human scout ship on his screen. Should we destroy it, High Arbiter? Asked Commander Sithel, one of the technologically advanced Sithrians. No, Zethkar said. Let the human look. Let them see how powerful we are. It will make their surrender easier. Dr. Lisa Barnes worked frantically in her underground laboratory. Computers hummed around her. Dr. Tony Miller stood at another workstation, typing commands into a quantum computer. Lisa, the quantum entanglement field is at 95%. Tony said, we need 5% more to make this work. Lisa wiped sweat from her forehead. The calculations are perfect, Tony. We just need more time. Time is something we don't have much of, Tony said. The alien fleet will be here soon. Lisa looked at her computer screen. Numbers and equations filled the display. This was the most important work of her life. Everything depended on getting it right. Tony, what if we increase the quantum frequency by 0.003%? Tony typed in the new numbers. That might work, but it's risky. If we're wrong, the whole system could fail. And if we don't try, the whole planet could be destroyed, Lisa said. Let's do it. On the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Kate Morrison watched the alien fleet approach. The ships were so numerous, they blocked out the stars. Commander Jake Sullivan stood beside her. Admiral, the alien fleet is massive. I'm counting at least 50,000 ships, maybe more. Kate nodded. Any word from our deep space sensors? Yes. Ma'am, we're detecting 12 different ship types. The aliens represent all 12 species of the hegemony. They're not taking any chances. Kate smiled. Good. The more ships they bring, the better our plan will work. Jake looked confused. Admiral, I don't understand. How is a bigger enemy fleet good for us? Kate turned to face him. Jake, what happens? When you try to control something that's too big for you to handle, you lose control? Exactly. The aliens think their massive fleet is their strength, but we're about to turn it into their weakness. High Arbiter Zethkar received a message from his scout ships. The human solar system was not heavily defended. A few space stations, some orbital platforms, maybe 300 ships total. This is disappointing, Zethkar said. I expected more resistance from a species that dared to refuse our offer. War Prime Keth Volume laughed. Perhaps they are even more primitive than we thought. This will be the easiest conquest in galactic history. Mind Singer Nethyara, Zethkar said. Scan the human planet again. Are you certain they are prepared? For something? The blue-skinned telepath concentrated again. Yes, High Arbiter. The feeling is stronger now. They are not afraid. They are ... waiting. Waiting for what? I do not know. But they are confident. Too confident for a species about to be conquered. Zethkar was starting to feel uneasy. In all his years of conquest, he had never encountered a species that remained calm when facing the full might of the hegemony. Perhaps we should send a warning shot, suggested Commander Sithel. Destroy one of their outer planets. Show them we are serious. No, Zethkar said. We will proceed as planned. The humans will surrender when they see our full fleet. If they do not, we will destroy them all. Lieutenant Sarah Morrison finished her mission and turned her ship back toward Earth. Behind her, the alien fleet continued its approach. On every major alien ship, tiny devices now waited for their signal. Control, this is Scout 7, Sarah said. Mission complete. All packages delivered. Good work, Scout 7. Come home. Sarah smiled as she flew back toward Earth. The aliens had no idea what had just happened. They thought she was just a scared human taking pictures. They were about to learn that humans were much more clever than they appeared. President Carter stood before the cameras in the White House. The broadcast would go to every human settlement in the solar system. It would also be transmitted to the alien fleet. My fellow humans, the president began. Today we face a challenge unlike any in our history, but we are ready. We have prepared for this moment for 50 years. We will not surrender. We will not be slaves. We will show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. The president smiled. It was a confident smile. A smile that said humans knew something the aliens did not. To the galactic hegemony, the president continued. We thank you for your offer, but we must decline. Earth is our home. We will keep it. The broadcast ended. The message was sent to the alien fleet. High Arbiter Zethkar watched the human president's message. The smile on the human's face bothered him. No species had ever smiled when facing the hegemony's full might. Prepare for attack, Zethkar ordered. The humans have chosen destruction. The alien fleet began to accelerate toward Earth. Soon, the real battle would begin. The alien fleet entered Earth's solar system like a storm of metal and fire. 50,000 ships spread across space in perfect formation. High Arbiter Zethkar stood on his bridge, watching the small blue planet grow larger on his screen. Target. The human moon, Zethkar ordered. Fire a warning shot. Let them see what our weapons can do. A massive beam of energy shot from the Eternal Dominion. It struck the moon and carved a deep crater into its surface. The blast was visible from Earth, a bright flash in the night sky. Surely now they will surrender, said War Prime Keth Volume. No species can ignore such a display of power. But instead of surrender, the aliens received a message from Admiral Kate Morrison. Thank you for the demonstration, Kate said calmly. That was very impressive. We appreciate you showing us what your weapons can do. Zethkar stared at the screen. The human admiral was not afraid. She was not begging for mercy. She was thanking them. Admiral Morrison, Zethkar said, you have seen our power. Your moon now has a crater that can be seen from space. Surrender. Now, or we will do the same to your planet. Kate smiled. We understand your position. But as our president told you, we must decline your offer. Please proceed with your attack." The communication ended. The aliens looked at each other in confusion. No species had ever asked them to proceed with an attack. On Earth, Dr. Lisa Barnes and Dr. Tony Miller worked in their underground laboratory. The quantum computers hummed loudly. Green lights flashed on every panel. "Lisa, the quantum entanglement field is at 100%, Tony said. "All systems are ready." Lisa felt her heart racing. "Tony, are you sure this will work?" "The mathematics are perfect. Every calculation has been checked 1,000 times. This will work." Lisa nodded and pressed a button. Phase 2 is active. All quantum devices are now online. High above Earth, Lieutenant Sarah Morrison sat in her fighter ship. Around her, hundreds of other human pilots waited for orders. The ships looked small and weak compared to the alien fleet. "All pilots, this is Admiral Morrison," came the voice over the radio. "Begin Phase 2 maneuvers. Remember, you are not trying to win a dogfight. You are trying to get close enough to complete your mission." Sarah smiled. "Don't worry, Admiral. We know what we're doing." The human ships began to move toward the alien fleet. They flew in strange patterns, not like military formations. The aliens watched them approach. "They are attacking us with fighter ships," laughed Commander Sithel. "How brave. How foolish." "Destroy them," ordered Zethkar. "Show them what happens when primitives challenge the hegemony." The alien ships opened fire. Beams of energy and missiles filled space. But something strange happened. The human ships were not destroyed. They seemed to flicker and phase in and out of existence. "What is happening?" Zethkar demanded. "Why? Are our weapons not hitting them?" "Unknown, High Arbiter," said the weapons officer. The human ships appeared to be using some kind of cloaking technology. But it was not cloaking technology. It was quantum phase shifting. The tiny devices that Sarah had planted on the alien ships were now active. They were creating quantum entanglement fields that made the human ships difficult to target. Captain Amy Foster stood in the Orbital Defense Control Center. Around her, technicians worked at complex control panels. Instead of weapons, the orbital platforms were equipped with quantum transmission arrays. "Captain Foster," said one of the technicians, "all orbital platforms are ready. The quantum signal is prepared for transmission." Amy nodded. "Wait for my order." On the alien flagship, Mindsinger Nethyara suddenly gasped. Her psychic senses were picking up something massive. "High Arbiter," she said urgently, "something is wrong. The humans are not what they appear to be." "What do you mean?" "I sense many minds, many more than should be possible. It is as if there are millions of humans, but I can only see thousands." Zethkar was growing frustrated. "Explain yourself clearly. The humans are hiding something, something very large. I can feel it, but I cannot see it." Dr. Barnes sat at her master control console. Every screen showed green lights. Every system was working perfectly. "Tony, we're ready for Phase 3, she said. "Are you certain?" "Once we begin Phase 3, there's no going back." Lisa looked at the screens showing the alien fleet. 50,000 ships, all with quantum devices attached to their hulls, all ready to be linked to the human quantum network. "I'm certain." "Begin." Phase 3. Tony pressed a series of buttons. Around the world, massive quantum computers came online. Deep space relay stations activated. The orbital platforms began broadcasting a complex signal. The signal reached every tiny device that Sarah had planted on the alien ships. Suddenly, every alien vessel was connected to the human quantum network. "What is that signal?" demanded Zethkar. "Are they trying to communicate?" "Unknown, High Arbiter," said the communications officer. "The signal is unlike anything in our database. But the signal was not for communication. It was for coordination. Every alien ship was now quantum entangled with the human fleet. But the aliens could not detect this connection. Admiral Kate Morrison sat in her command chair on the Defiance. Around her, the bridge crew worked calmly and efficiently. No one seemed worried about the massive alien fleet. "Admiral," said Commander Jake Sullivan, Phase 3 is complete. All alien ships are now connected to our network. Kate smiled. "Excellent. Jake, open a channel to the alien fleet." "Channel open, Admiral." Kate stood up. "High Arbiter Zethkar, this is Admiral Morrison. We have a proposal for you." Zethkar's face appeared on the screen. He looked angry and confused. "You are in no position to make proposals, human," he said. "Surrender now, or we will destroy your planet." "Before you do that," Kate said, "we would like to show you something that might change your mind." "I am not interested in human tricks." Kate's smile grew wider. "Oh, but you should be. You see, we've been studying your fleet very carefully. We know exactly how many ships you have. We know what weapons you carry. We know your tactical formations. Impossible. Our ships are shielded from your primitive scanners." "Yes, they are. But you see, we're not using scanners anymore." Kate nodded. To Captain Foster. Amy pressed a button on her control panel. Suddenly, every alien ship in the fleet began receiving detailed information about every other alien ship. Their own computers were showing them data about their own fleet that they had not requested. "How are you doing this?" Zethkar demanded. "We're not doing anything," Kate said. "Your ships are doing it themselves. You see, about 18 hours ago, one of our pilots flew through your fleet. She was not just taking pictures. She was delivering presents." "What kind of presents?" "Quantum entanglement devices. They're very small. Your sensors can't detect them, but they're very powerful. Right now, every ship in your fleet is quantum entangled with our network." Zethkar felt cold fear creep up his spine. "What does that mean?" Kate's smile became almost predatory. "It means we can do more than just scan your ships. We can control them. We can access their computers. We can override their systems. We can do anything we want." "You are lying." "Am I?" "Commander Foster, please demonstrate." Amy pressed another button. Suddenly, the lights on the alien flagship began to flicker on and off in a pattern. The artificial gravity fluctuated. The air circulation systems made strange noises. "Stop this," Zethkar shouted. "We're just getting started," Kate said. "You came here to conquer Earth. You brought 50,000 ships. You thought you were overwhelming us with superior numbers." Kate paused and looked directly at Zethkar. "But you made one crucial mistake. You assumed we were primitive. You assumed we were unprepared. You assumed we would fight you the same way every other species has fought you." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that humans don't fight the way other species fight. We don't try to match you ship for ship. We don't try to build bigger weapons. We do something much more effective." "Which is?" Kate's smile was now brilliant. "We turn your own strength against you. Every ship you brought here is now part of our fleet. Every weapon you carry is now under our control. Every system you depend on is now connected to our network." Zethkar looked around his bridge. His crew was staring at their instruments in shock. The computers were showing impossible readings. Systems that should have been isolated were now connected to external networks. "This is impossible," he whispered. "No," Kate said. "This is human." The battle for Earth had begun. But it was not the battle anyone had expected. The alien fleet hung in space around Earth, but something had changed. The ships were still there, but they were no longer under alien control. High Arbiter Zethkar stared at his instruments in growing horror. Status report, he demanded. Hi. Arbiter, said his weapons officer. Our systems are compromised. The humans have access to our computers, our weapons, our engines, everything. War Prime Keth Volume turned from his station. This is impossible. No species has ever done this before. The humans are not like other species, said Mind Singer Nethiara. I can feel their minds. They are calm. They are confident. They planned. This. On Earth, President Alex Carter stood in the command center with General Ryan Phillips. Both men watched the tactical displays showing the alien fleet. Mr. President, General Phillips said, Phase 3 is complete. We have full access to every alien ship. President Carter nodded. Good. Jake, open a channel to the fleet commanders. Commander Jake Sullivan pressed buttons on his console. Channel open, Mr. President. President Carter faced the screen. Leaders of the Galactic Hegemony. This is President Carter of Earth. We need to talk. The screen split into 12 sections. Each section showed a different alien species. All of them looked shocked and angry. Human, said Zethkar, release our ships immediately. This is an act of war. President Carter smiled. No, this is an act of defense. You came here to destroy us. You brought 50,000 ships to kill every human in the galaxy. We simply chose to defend ourselves in a way you did not expect. You have violated the laws of war, said Commander Sithel. You have used forbidden technology. There are no laws of war in space, President Carter replied. You taught us that when you conquered 47 species and destroyed 6 others. You taught us that the galaxy is a place where only the strong survive. Dr. Lisa Barnes entered the command center. She looked tired but satisfied. Mr. President, the quantum network is stable. We have complete control. Thank you, Dr. Barnes. Your work has saved humanity. Lisa nodded. There's something else, Mr. President. The network is picking up communications from other parts of the galaxy, species that the hegemony has conquered. They know what's happening here. President Carter raised an eyebrow. What are they saying? They're asking if we can help them. On the alien flagship, Zethkar was trying to understand how the humans had achieved the impossible. Mind Singer Nethiara, can you read their thoughts? Can you understand their technology? The telepath concentrated. High Arbiter, their minds are different. They think in ways I have never encountered. They plan far ahead. They prepare for possibilities that seem impossible. What do you mean? They have been preparing for this moment for 50 years. Every human knows about this plan. Every human has been working toward this goal. Zethkar felt his confidence crumbling. 50 years? But we only made contact with them 5 years ago. No, Nethiara said softly. They made contact with us 50 years ago. They have been watching us, learning about us, planning for this day. Captain Amy Foster stood in the Orbital Defense Center. Her technicians were now controlling alien ships as if they were human vessels. Captain, said one of the technicians, the alien fleet is completely integrated into our network. We can control their movement, their weapons, their life support. Systems. Amy nodded. Good. Begin Phase 4. Phase 4, ma'am. We're going to show them what their ships can really do when they're properly coordinated. The alien fleet began to move. But instead of attacking Earth, the ships began to form new patterns. They moved with precision and grace that surprised even their own crews. What is happening? Demanded War Prime Keth Volume. Why are our ships moving? We're reorganizing your fleet, said Admiral Kate Morrison over the communication channel. Your ships are powerful, but you've been using them inefficiently. Stop this immediately. Why? We're not harming anyone. We're just showing you what's possible when 50,000 ships work together instead of in competition. Dr. Tony Miller worked at his quantum computer. Lisa, the aliens are trying to break the quantum entanglement. Can they do it? Not with their current technology. They would need to understand quantum mechanics at a level they haven't reached yet. How long do we have? Forever, if they don't get help. But some of their species are very advanced. They might figure it out eventually, Lisa nodded. Then we need to move to Phase 5. Lieutenant Sarah Morrison flew her fighter ship through the reorganized alien fleet. The massive ships moved around her like a synchronized dance. "This is incredible," she said into her radio. "The alien ships are flying in perfect formation. They're not fighting each other for position. They're working together." "That's the point," came Admiral Morrison's voice. "Sarah, begin your Phase 4 mission." "Yes, ma'am." Sarah flew toward the edge of the solar system. Behind her, the alien fleet continued its strange dance. But Sarah was not admiring the view. She was flying toward something the aliens had not. Notice dot hidden in the asteroid belt, camouflaged among the rocks, were human ships. Thousands of them. But these were not the small fighters the aliens had seen. These were massive vessels, each one as large as an alien battleship. "This is Scout 7, Sarah said. "I've reached the hidden fleet. All ships are ready for Phase 4. "Copy that, Scout 7. Begin Phase 4. The asteroids began to move. But they were not asteroids. They were human ships that had been disguised to look like rocks. One by one, they revealed themselves. On the alien flagship, the sensors began detecting new contacts. "High Arbiter," said the sensor officer. "We're detecting new ships. Many new ships." "Where did they come from?" "They appear to have been hidden in the asteroid belt. Our sensors mistook them for space rocks." Zethkar watched his tactical display fill with new contacts. Hundreds of ships, then thousands, then tens of thousands. "How many ships do the humans have?" he asked. "Unknown, High Arbiter. They keep appearing. But the humans were not done. From behind the planets, more ships appeared. From the moons of Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune, entire fleets emerged from hiding. "This is impossible," whispered War Prime Keth Volume. "No species can build this many ships without being detected." Admiral Kate Morrison appeared on the communication screen again. "You're right. It would be impossible for most species. But humans have been building these ships for 50 years. We've been hiding them throughout the solar system." "How many ships do you have?" demanded Zefki R. Kate smiled. "More than you do." The tactical displays now showed the truth. The human fleet was not hundreds of ships. It was not thousands. It was hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. "We have been building ships faster than you can count them," Kate continued. "We have shipyards in every asteroid field. We have factories on every moon. We have been preparing for this day since we learned that the galaxy was not a friendly place." President Carter's voice joined the conversation. "High Arbiter Zethkar, leaders of the hegemony, we have a proposal for you." "What kind of proposal?" "Surrender." The word hung in space like a physical presence. The aliens looked at each other in disbelief. "You want us to surrender?" Zethkar asked. "Yes, you came here to conquer us. You brought 50,000 ships. We have shown you that we have more ships than you do. We have shown you that we can control your ships. We have shown you that we were prepared for this moment. And if we refuse?" President Carter's smile faded. "Then we will do what you plan to do to us. We will destroy every ship in your fleet. We will make sure the galaxy knows that the hegemony is not invincible." "You would commit genocide?" "You are planning to do the same to us. The difference is, we're giving you a choice." The communication channel fell silent. The alien leaders looked at each other, each waiting for someone else to speak. Finally, Mind Singer Nethyara broke the silence. "What are your terms?"